Charles Plumb, was a U.S. Navy jet pilot in Vietnam. After 75 combat missions, his plane was shot by a surface-to-air missile. Plumb ejected and parachuted into enemy hands. He was captured and spent 6 years in a Vietnamese prison. He survived the ordeal and was later released. Years later. One day, when Plumb and his wife were sitting in a restaurant, a man at another table came up and said, "You're Plumb, you flew jet fighters in Vietnam from the aircraft carrier, Kitty Hawk. You were shot down." "How in the world did you know that?" asked Plumb. "I packed your parachute," the man replied. Plumb gasped in surprise and gratitude. The man pumped his hand and said, "I guess it worked." Plumb assured him, "It sure did. If your chute had not worked, I would not be here today." Plumb couldn't sleep that night, thinking about that man. Plumb says, "I kept wondering what he had looked like in a Navy uniform, a white hat, a bib in the back, and bell-bottom trousers. I wonder how many times I might have seen him, and not even said good morning, how are you, or anything. Because, you see, I was a fighter pilot, and he was just a sailor." Plumb thought of the many hours that sailor had spent at a long wooden table in the bowels of the ship, carefully weaving the shrouds, and folding the silks of each chute. Holding in his hands each time the fate of someone he didn't know. Since then, Plumb goes out asking his audience, "Do you know who's packing your parachute?" As, in order for an aircraft engine to perform efficiently, every part of the engine has to perform perfectly, in harmony with the other components, that is what is called synergy, or teamwork. Indeed, all elements of an organization are members of a team, and they must understand that teamwork depends upon a sense of mutual interdependence, and respect for each other. While a pilot has his own role to play, so is the engineer, air traffic controller, technician, or even the sanitary worker, who mops the floor. As a matter of fact, the job others do is what we can't. As you go through your routine work tomorrow, remember to recognize people who pack your parachutes. Give them a pat for their good work, and establish a sense of belonging and compassion. This act of mutual respect for others will help in cementing the professional bonding, and develop a cohesive teamwork, thus a safe and efficient organization.